The sun is very high in the bright blue sky. It is a hot day in ancient Greece. The year is 490 before the Common Era. This is a time of heroes and big stories. In a small city called Athens, the people are afraid. They look at the blue sea, and they see many ships. These are not friendly ships. These are the ships of the Persian army. The Persian army is very big and very strong. The people of Athens are simple people. They are farmers, they are builders, and they are thinkers. They love their homes and they love their city, but now a big war is coming to their front door. The wind blows through the olive trees. The leaves make a soft sound like a whisper. But the city is not quiet. People are talking in the streets. They are worried about their children and their future. They need a plan to save their beautiful home. Among these people is a man named Pheidippides. Pheidippides is a messenger. A messenger is a person who carries important news from one place to another. He is not a king or a rich general. He is a runner. Running is his life and his work. He has very strong legs and a very strong heart. His feet are hard from many days of running on rocky paths. He wears simple clothes and thin sandals. Every day he trains by running up the green hills and down the dusty roads. He knows every stone and every tree on the path. He understands the language of the wind. He knows how to breathe when the air is hot. He knows how to keep going when his body wants to stop. Today, his skills are more important than ever before. The leaders of Athens call for him because they have a very important task. The leaders stand in a large stone building. The air inside is cool, but the mood is very heavy. They look at a map on a table. They tell Pheidippides that he must run to the city of Sparta. Sparta is another city in Greece. The Spartans are famous because they are the best soldiers in the world. Athens needs the help of the Spartans to fight the Persian army. The distance to Sparta is very long. It is about 150 miles. This is a very great distance for a man to run. There are no cars or bicycles in this time. There are only horses and human legs. The road to Sparta is not flat or easy. It goes over high mountains and through deep valleys. There are wild animals in the forest and sharp rocks on the ground. The sun is hot during the day, and the air is cold during the night. Pheidippides listens to the leaders. He feels the importance of their words. He knows that the lives of thousands of people depend on his speed. He does not say no. He does not say that he is tired. He simply nods his head and prepares to leave. He takes a small bag of water and some dried fruit. He checks his sandals to make sure they are strong. He looks at the city of Athens one last time. He sees the white buildings and the statues of the gods. He sees the mothers holding their babies. He sees the old men sitting in the shade. He carries the hope of all these people in his heart. Then he begins to run. At first, his steps are light and quick. He moves through the city gates and begins his long journey. The first few miles are easy for a professional runner like Pheidippides. He moves past the farms outside the city. He sees the farmers working in the fields of grain. They stop their work to watch him run past. They know he is a messenger because he moves with great purpose. The dust rises from the ground under his feet. The smell of the earth is strong and sweet. He breathes in the fresh air of the morning. His heart beats like a drum in his chest. It is a steady rhythm that helps him keep a good pace. left, right, left, right. His feet hit the ground with a soft sound. He feels the power in his muscles. He is a part of the land. He is like the wind moving across the grass. As the sun moves higher in the sky, the heat becomes stronger. The sweat begins to drop from his face. It feels salty on his lips. He does not stop to rest. He knows that every minute is precious. If he stops, the Persian army gets closer to Athens. He thinks about his family and his friends. This gives him strength when his legs begin to feel heavy. He reaches the first big hill. The path is narrow and full of loose stones. He must be very careful not to fall. A broken bone would be a disaster for the city. He watches the ground closely. He picks the best place for every step. His breathing becomes deeper and louder. He talks to himself in a soft voice to keep his mind focused. He tells himself to stay strong and stay fast. By the afternoon, the landscape changes. The green fields are gone. Now he is in a place with many gray rocks and very few trees. There is no shade to protect him from the burning sun. The water in his bag is warm, but it tastes like life. He takes small sips to save as much as he can. His skin is turning red from the sun. The dust from the road is in his hair and on his clothes. He looks like a ghost moving through the dry land. Sometimes he sees a hawk flying high above him. The bird is lucky because it has wings. Pheidippides only has his feet and his will. He continues to move forward. He does not look back at the city he left behind. He only looks forward to the mountains in the distance. The mountains are very tall and look blue in the afternoon light. They are the biggest challenge of the first day. The path goes up and up. It is very steep. Pheidippides can no longer run fast. He must walk quickly and climb. His calf muscles burn with a sharp pain. This pain is like a fire in his legs. He presses his hands against his knees to help him push upward. The air is thinner here, and it is harder to breathe. He feels small against the giant mountains. The world is very big, and he is just one man. But he is a man with a message. He remembers the faces of the leaders in Athens. He remembers the fear in the eyes of the people. This memory is like a hand pushing him up the mountain. As the sun begins to set, the sky turns orange and purple. The beauty of the sunset is amazing, but Pheidippides does not have time to enjoy it. He knows that night is coming soon. Night on the mountain is dangerous. It is easy to get lost in the dark. It is easy to step off the path and fall into a deep hole. The temperature drops quickly. The hot air of the day is replaced by a cold wind. He pulls his light cloak closer to his body. He is tired and hungry. He has been running for many hours. His body wants to lie down on the soft grass and sleep for a long time. But his mind says no. He must reach Sparta as soon as possible. He must keep moving even when the stars come out. The stars are very bright in the dark sky. There are millions of them. They look like tiny lamps guiding him on his way. He uses the stars to find his direction. He knows which stars point to the south. He follows them with trust. The sound of the night is different than the day. He hears the owls calling to each other. He hears the small animals moving in the bushes. Every sound makes him alert. He is alone in the wild, but he is not afraid. He feels a connection to the gods. He asks them for strength and for speed. He asks them to protect Athens while he is away. His feet continue their steady beat on the cold ground. He is a runner of the night. He is a shadow moving through the silent world. He is the first marathon runner, and his journey is just beginning. The night is long, and the air is very cold on the high mountain passes. Pheidippides feels the chill in his bones as he moves through the darkness. His breath comes out like small white clouds in the moonlight. The silence of the mountain is very deep. Sometimes he hears the sound of a falling stone or the cry of a mountain lion far away. These sounds tell him that the world is awake and watching him. He does not stop to rest because the cold is dangerous for a tired body. If he stops, his muscles will become hard like stone, and he will not be able to move again. He keeps his arms moving and his legs swinging in a steady circle. He focuses on the rhythm of his breathing. In and out, in and out. He counts his steps to keep his mind busy. 1, 2, 3, 4. He counts to 1,000, and then he starts again from 1. This helps him forget the pain in his feet and the weight of his tired head. As the first light of the new day appears, the sky turns a soft gray. Pheidippides reaches the top of the final mountain ridge. Below him he sees a wide valley filled with green trees and silver rivers. This is the land of the Spartans. It is a place of strength and discipline. He begins to run down the mountain. Running down is faster than climbing up, but it is very hard on the knees. Every step is a heavy hit against the earth. He uses his arms to balance his body as he flies down the rocky trail. He can see the city of Sparta in the distance. The buildings are strong and simple. There are no gold statues or fancy decorations here. The Spartans believe in power and war, not in luxury. He feels a spark of hope in his heart. He is almost there. He has run for a day and a night without stopping for sleep. He reaches the gates of Sparta as the sun begins to warm the earth. The Spartan soldiers at the gate are very tall, and they carry long spears. They look at the runner with surprise. Pheidippides looks like a man who has come back from the dead. His skin is covered in dust and dried salt. His clothes are torn by thorns, and his feet are bleeding through his sandals. He tells the guards that he comes from Athens with an urgent message. The guards see the seriousness in his eyes, and they take him to the leaders of the city. The Spartan leaders are sitting in a circle. They are old men with many scars from many battles. They look at the young messenger from Athens. Pheidippides stands in the center of the room. His legs are shaking, but he stands as straight as he can. He speaks with a clear voice despite his dry throat. He tells the Spartans that the Persians are at the Bay of Marathon. He tells them that Athens is small and needs the help of the great Spartan army. He asks them to march with him to save the freedom of Greece. The Spartan leaders listen in silence. They whisper to each other for a long time. Finally, the oldest leader speaks. He says that the Spartans want to help, but they cannot leave today. There is a religious festival in Sparta right now. Their laws say they must wait until the moon is full before they go to war. This news is like a heavy blow to Pheidippides. The full moon is many days away. By then, the Persian army might already be inside the walls of Athens. He tries to explain the danger, but the Spartans are very strict about their laws. They will come, but they will not come today. Pheidippides feels a deep sadness. He has run so far and so fast for this news. But he does not have time to be angry. He has a new task now. He must run back to Athens to tell the generals that the Spartans are not coming yet. The generals need to know this so they can change their plan. He does not wait for a meal or a bed. He drinks a large bowl of water and eats a piece of hard bread. The Spartans offer him a horse, but he knows the mountain paths are too narrow and dangerous for a horse at night. He trusts his own legs more than any animal. He turns around and leaves the city of Sparta. The road back feels even longer than the road there. His body is already very tired, and he has another 150 miles to go. The sun is very hot now as he climbs back into the mountains. The heat feels like a heavy blanket on his shoulders. His feet are very sore, and every step feels like walking on sharp glass. He starts to see things that are not there because he is so tired. He thinks he sees a god standing under a tree. He thinks he hears voices in the wind. He tells himself to stay awake and stay real. He looks at the sun to know the time. He knows that his city is waiting for him. He thinks about the children of Athens who are playing in the streets. They do not know that a giant army is coming to take their home. He is the only one who can warn the generals. This thought is like a fire that keeps him moving. He cannot fail. He cannot stop. The second night on the road is the hardest part of his life. The moon is a thin silver line in the sky. The forest is full of long shadows that look like enemies. Pheidippides is so tired that he almost falls asleep while he is running. His eyes want to close, but he forced them to stay open. He talks to his legs. He tells his left leg to move, and then he tells his right leg to move. He treats his body like a general treats a soldier. He commands himself to continue. He remembers the taste of the fresh grapes in Athens and the smell of the sea. These small memories are beautiful to him now. He realizes how much he loves his life and his home. The pain in his body is great, but the love in his heart is greater. When the sun rises on the third day, he is back in the lands near Athens. He sees the blue water of the sea again. But the sea is full of the Persian ships. There are hundreds of them. They look like a forest of wood on the water. He sees the smoke from the Persian camp at Marathon. The war is starting. He must get to the generals quickly. He finds the Athenian army on a hill overlooking the plain of Marathon. The soldiers are wearing bronze armor that shines in the sun. They look small compared to the huge Persian army below them. Pheidippides runs into the camp. He finds General Miltiades and tells him the news from Sparta. The Spartans are coming, but they are late. The general looks at the tired messenger with great respect. He tells Pheidippides to rest, but the runner cannot rest yet. The Battle of Marathon begins. Pheidippides watches from the hill. The Athenian soldiers run down the hill toward the Persians. They are brave, and they fight with great spirit. The sound of metal hitting metal fills the air. It is a loud and terrible sound. The Persians are surprised because the Athenians are running at them so fast. The battle lasts for many hours. The sun moves across the sky and the ground becomes red. Finally, the Persian army begins to run back to their ships. The Athenians have won a great victory. They have protected their home against the biggest army in the world. But the story is not over. The Persian ships are moving through the water. They are going toward the city of Athens. The city is empty of soldiers. If the ships get there first, They will take the city. The generals look at the sea, and then they look at Pheidippides. They need someone to run to the city of Athens to tell the people the news of the victory. If the people know the army won, they will find the courage to close the gates and fight the ships. If they do not know, they might give up. The distance from Marathon to Athens is about 26 miles. It is not as long as the trip to Sparta, but Pheidippides has already run 300 miles in 3 days. He has not slept, and he has barely eaten. His body is at its limit. He is shaking, and his breath is shallow. But he looks at the general, and he nods. He will run one last time. He will run for the life of his city. He takes a deep breath of the salty sea air and starts to run toward Athens. The road from Marathon to Athens is long and dusty. Pheidippides feels a pain in his chest that he has never felt before. It is a sharp and heavy pain, like a hot stone. His legs do not feel like his own legs anymore. They feel like heavy pieces of wood. He can hear his own heart beating very fast in his ears. It sounds like the feet of 1,000 soldiers. Every step is a fight against his own body. He looks at the road ahead of him. The dust gets in his throat and makes him cough. He does not have any water left in his bag. His mouth is dry like the desert sand. But he sees the mountain in the distance that stands near Athens. He knows that his home is just behind that mountain. The sun is at its hottest point in the afternoon. The heat waves rise from the ground and make the world look wavy and strange. Pheidippides does not look at the beauty of the olive trees anymore. He only looks at the white road. He remembers the victory at the beach. He remembers the Athenian soldiers laughing and hugging each other. They were so happy to be alive. He wants the mothers and children in the city to feel that same happiness. He knows that if he fails, the Persian ships will arrive, and the people will think they lost the war. They might open the gates and let the enemy in. He cannot let that happen. He pushes his body harder than any human has ever pushed before. His sandals are now completely broken. The leather is gone, and he is running on his bare feet. The rocks on the road cut his skin, but he does not stop to look. He feels a strange coldness in his hands, even though the sun is burning. His head feels very light, as if he is floating above the ground. He starts to imagine that the gods are running beside him. He thinks he sees Hermes, the messenger god, with winged shoes. He imagines Hermes is giving him a little bit of his wind. This thought makes him smile for a small moment. He is not just a man anymore. He is a message. He is the voice of a whole army. He is the hope of a whole nation. He reaches the final hill before the city. His vision is becoming blurry. The world is turning gray at the edges. He can see the Acropolis, the high hill of Athens with its beautiful stone buildings. He is so close now. People on the road begin to see him. They see a man covered in blood dust and sweat. They see the look of total exhaustion on his face. They start to run alongside him. They ask him questions. They want to know what happened at Marathon. But Pheidippides does not answer. He saves every bit of his breath for his lungs. He needs every tiny bit of energy to reach the center of the city. He keeps his eyes fixed on the city gates. The people in the city see him coming through the gates. A large crowd begins to gather in the marketplace. There is a deep silence because everyone is afraid of the news. Is it good news or bad news? Is the army safe or is it gone? The elders of the city stand at the front of the crowd. They see Pheidippides stumble. His legs finally give up and he falls to his knees. The ground is hard and hot. He uses his last bit of strength to push himself up one more time. He stands tall for a few seconds. He looks at the people of Athens. He sees their worried faces and their tears. He takes one last deep breath that hurts his chest. He opens his mouth and shouts one single word: joy. He says it again with all his might. We have won. The sound of his voice travels across the marketplace. The silence is broken by a giant shout of happiness from the people. They realize they are safe. They realize their husbands, fathers, and sons are coming home. The people begin to cheer and dance. They cry with relief. They hug each other and thank the gods. The news spreads through the streets like a fire. The city of Athens is full of light and hope once again. The Persian ships will find a city that is ready to fight and full of courage. But Pheidippides does not hear the cheering for long. As soon as the words leave his lips, his heart finally tires. He has done his duty. He has run further and faster than any man in history. He falls to the ground one last time. The people rush to help him, but his journey is over. He closes his eyes with a peaceful smile on his face. He is the hero of the day, the hero of the city, and the hero of the future. He did not die in a battle with a sword. He died giving his life to bring a message of peace and victory to his people. His story does not end on the ground of Athens. It is only the beginning of a legend. The people of Athens never forgot the name of Pheidippides. They told his story to their children and their grandchildren. They talked about the man who ran from Athens to Sparta and then from Marathon to Athens. They honored his courage and his strength. Many years later, the world decided to remember him in a special way. They created a race called the Marathon. This race is exactly the same distance that Pheidippides ran from the battlefield to the city. When people run a marathon today, they are remembering the messenger who gave everything for his home. They are feeling a small part of the fire that burned in his heart. Every year, thousands of people all over the world run 26 miles. They run through big cities and small towns. They feel the pain in their legs and the heat of the sun. They feel like they want to stop, just like Pheidippides did. But they remember the story of the first marathon. They remember that the human spirit is stronger than the human body. They learn that courage is not just about fighting with a shield. Courage is about moving forward when your legs are heavy. Courage is about finishing the task you were given. It is about doing something for others, even when it is very hard for you. The story of Pheidippides teaches us a very important lesson. It tells us that one person can change history. One man with a strong heart saved a city and a culture. His run was not just a run. It was a bridge between fear and joy. Today, the path he ran is still there. The mountains still stand tall, and the sea still crashes against the shore at Marathon. The wind still whispers through the olive trees. And if you listen closely, you can almost hear the steady sound of feet hitting the ground. You can hear the breath of a runner who never gave up. This is the story of the first marathon, and it is a story that will live forever.